And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Punk Thompson. 100%. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big Sean McCarthy.
Once again, we are back. It is the Weighing In Podcast. Josh Thompson and me here to bring you what is happening. And there's a lot happening in the world of MMA. We've got all kinds of things to talk about. Josh, how you feeling, baby? Because I'm not feeling too good. My Irish people got me sick.
Man, they betrayed you, John.
That's what happens when you stand there and take all those pictures.
Oh, it's so upsetting, man.
Pestilence.
I don't have that problem.
Pestilence.
I don't have that problem, my man. Like, when they ask me for pictures, I'm like, John, they want a picture with you, buddy. No, just kidding, guys. I'm always available for pictures. Just no one likes me. It's all right. Yeah. That's the great thing about this podcast. I get to stir up more shit, and so people just, they continue to dislike me. It's kind of nice. Okay, so I want to address this real quick.
Right off the bat,
I want to address this real quick. I am really good friends with Cain. I will not say anything about Cain. I will not talk about what's going on with Cain. My friendship only goes so far, and it doesn't go to this podcast when it comes to that type of stuff. Okay, let this all settle out. Everyone knows that he has 100% of my support. I don't need to say anything else, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to get into details about his personal stuff, and this is really, really directly to family stuff and everything else. So this is not my business. This is no one else's business. Let it all play out, and everyone knows that I have his support. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it to that. So I want to get that out of the way.
The biggest thing you have to do, and look, Josh, I was in law enforcement for 23 years. Just because someone's arrested doesn't mean they did something wrong. And I have no idea. All I'm saying is get the facts before you start talking about it. Until you actually have the reports and you know what they're saying was done and what the charges are and everything, you don't know. And so right now, best of luck to Cain. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, we just live in a culture that is quick to judge people, and I'm not going to – I just don't want to put it out there. And I know I have been sent the reports, and I know exactly, and I've talked to him and his family, but that's not my place. I just want to show that I have nothing but support for him, and I always support him. So I'm going to leave it at that. And if you guys came here for that part of it, I want to make sure you guys can leave now if you guys want to. So
it's over.
Really what it comes down to.
It's all gone.
Yeah. Otherwise, hey, there's a lot to talk about in terms of fighting, and that's what we do here. And let's do it, man. I'm pumped. I'm pumped to talk about this weekend's card. I'm pumped to talk about what we do, and this is going to be good. So first, let's go to weightinpodcast.com. You guys check out our new merch. Our new merch stuff is, if you guys didn't pick it up before March 1st, man, you guys are going to be feeling the pain in that pocketbook. But hey, we didn't jump it that much. We just want to let you guys, there it is. The hoodie. The hoodie is available. It is there. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
So that's one of the hoodies available to you as well. And we've got the original logo. We've got even our Beast Mode shirts that are out, and hoodies, long sleeves. We've got a coffee mug. That's what I got to get. I gave you one of them coffee mugs. So, and it's available in all different colors. We also have crew neck sweaters because Podcast Dave likes those, and nobody else in the world does, but just him. So we did those. We've available in different colors. You got maroon, gray, black, white, heather gray, all different types. So check them out. See what you guys like. There's no promo code. These are the prices. This is what the prices are. We may run specials later on down the line, but right now we ran the special up until they launch this new website. So it's weightinpodcast.com. Pick up some of your merch, post a picture of yourself wearing it. We want to thank you guys for continuing to support us. All right, let's get into this show. What show are we doing first there, Dave?
Well, we're going to look at UFC 272 because, biggest fight card of the year so far.
Well, you're a big Colby fan, so we get it. We get it. We understand.
Here. Not even a championship fight on there, and you're calling it the biggest fight card? Are you kidding me? You just had Izzy and Whitaker. What is wrong with you? Have you lost your mustache? What the?
Wait, we got to show a picture. As a matter of fact, he has lost his goatee looking thing.
I know, look at
that's the greatest thing
ever. He's the baby.
The baby face assassin, but just the fat face version one. It's so great. Dave, you got to tell the story, man. If you guys didn't follow Dave on Instagram, tell us the story.
So I was I was putting my kid to bed the other night, and he like touched my beard, and he's like, "Why you had that?" And I was like, "It's Daddy's beard." And he's like, "Why you have a beard?" And I was like, "Do you not want me to have a beard?" He's like, "No, I want you to look like me." And so I was like, "You want me to shave it off?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so the next day, shaved it off. He came home from school, and he looked at me weird, and I was like, "What's up?" And he's like, "I don't like that."
I don't like that. That's so great. That is great. Oh man, this is a funny story. So my dad used to have like one of those ZZ Top beards when I was younger, and that's all. I remember my dad.
He had an epic beard.
It was long. Yeah, it was long. It was long, like down. I would say down to like his belly button or what's it called, belt line. It was long. Anyways,
we're talking Mike Beltran long.
Mike Beltran type beard. Yeah, it was long. Anyways, my sister sat. She was like, I want to say she was about 5 at the time. You know, maybe 4 or 5, somewhere in there. She watched him in the mirror, sat on the toilet, and watched him cut it off, shave it all off. And then he like got in the shower, got out, like washed his face, whatever, took a shower, came back out. She went into the kitchen. He came out of the bathroom, and she looked at him and just started screaming, crying. She watched him cut it off.
Stranger danger, baby.
Stranger danger for like a week.
Yeah.
She wouldn't go to him. She wouldn't let him pick him up. She wouldn't let him like nothing. Yeah, for like a week. And so he finally just started growing once he started growing the stubble back, she started feeling more comfortable. So it took about a week, about a week for him to do it. So,
well, I've been banished to this room until further notice. So,
what's that?
I've been banished to this room until further notice.
It's like, no, you got to go away. What you guys got to remember, man, that Podcast Dave is a Colby fan because he's a WWE fan. It's all just fake shit. He loves it. So he's that fake wrestler guy, and this is exactly what he's talking about. He's a Colby fan. Oh, he loves the fake heel stuff that Colby does. Heel.
All right, nothing wrong with it.
Do you think this is real? Do you think this drama is real?
No.
Boom! When I tell you that I'm always right, I'm always right. And I predicted it this last fight. I predicted it. John, you've got to agree. Islam Makhachev definitely win and the winner in the first round. I'm always right. I don't just say that because I'm lying. I tell you guys because it's the truth. I'm always right. That's right. Did you hear that? Did you guys hear that? Well, anyways, if you guys listen to me, you guys would have taken the first round submission or finish
like
by
you
Islam.
Did it?
Well, I don't bet on my friends. We know that. I don't bet on my friends. But go to mybookie.ag. You guys would have taken my advice. You guys would have came out ahead. A lot of money. Go to mybookie.ag. Use that promo code Weighing In. And just take our advice. John's right every once in a while, so you got to pat him on the back. Same thing with me. But I'm always right. Oh. So go to mybookie.ag. Use that promo code Weighing In. I'm telling you guys, with all the sports coming around right now, you've got basketball, you've got baseball, you've got a lot of things that are coming about. Hockey, and the hockey playoffs are about to start here coming up. So look, there's a lot of good ways to bet. We obviously talk a lot more about fighting because this is our area of expertise. But like I've said before, and I said it last time, John's been around since the conception of most of these sports. So go ahead and listen to what John has to say every once in a while when he talks about football, baseball, especially baseball. Baseball has been around forever. So John knows that sport because he helped create it. So the same thing with a little bit of golf. Let's go to mybookie.ag. Use that promo code Weighing In. You get a little extra spending cash if you use that QR code for your first initial deposit. That first initial deposit, though, okay? So make sure you use that QR code for the first time that you sign up, okay, at mybookie.ag with the promo code Weighing In. Use that QR code. Well, thank me later for all the great advice we give you. John, hopefully John can start to keep up with how much I am right. Mybookie.ag. Use that promo code Weighing In. You don't think this is real? I don't think it's real either.
No.
No matter how much people...
I believe that I think that, look, they were friends at a time and they kind of had words. Yeah. You shove someone off. But they're creating it to make it this, perception that they both want to kill each other. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with it. That's part of the fight game. And as long as it stays between the two, I don't ever have a problem with it. It doesn't matter to me. So.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know how to look at it because I feel like there's got to be something that happened, along the line that really did make them split. But the type of animosity they seem to be having and the exchange of words seems a little over the top.
Well, that's my point. Look, have you ever had somebody that you were friends with? Okay, and I could say a name right now, that I know you would go, yep. And you did things for them. You lived together. You gave them a roof, to put over their head. And then all of a sudden,
gave them my car, gave them all this shit.
Okay, and then you know what? They just did stuff that you go, fuck it, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
But do you have a hatred for them?
No, I don't have that.
No. And that's kind of the way it's always been. It's like, all right, I'm done with you. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to waste my time anymore. But is there a hatred like this? No, to me, it's built up, but that's okay. That's part of the fight game.
I think that's also called being mature. Like learning,
it might be.
I'm very immature when it comes to the podcast and around, having fun and stuff. But when it comes to like real life shit, like I can't let people get into me like this.
No.
Why do you? I
always like to say, why are you going to allow someone to rent space in your head? If you're going to be thinking about them like this, then you're allowing them to rent space in your head and they win. It's like, no, not going to happen.
But here's the thing, though, John. Like, so people give me a hard time, like Dave gives me a hard time, you give me a hard time about reading the comments. I also think that it's okay to take, sometimes when you see negative stuff, you have to really evaluate yourself and figure out, like, see, people avoid the negative shit about themselves because they want to have this perception like they're always right. I do it to read negative stuff about whatever it is we're doing on the podcast or whatever I'm doing, because maybe they are right a little bit. Maybe they see something in me that can be changed, that I can grow as a person. Those are ways to look at it. Most of the times they're trolls. I get it. I understand that part of it. But you've got to learn to like cipher out the BS and like kind of, you know what? He has a point. I do this too much, or I do say this too much, or whatever it is. So he or she has a point. That's why. I mean, I think a lot of it is like, how can we improve the show? Things that people don't like. It drives people crazy that like they don't like the fact that it says in the what are they called, subtitles? That it says POG in the subtitles when MCW introduces me. Josh the Pog Thompson. Yeah, the closed caption says POG, Josh the Pog Thompson.
Okay.
And so people laugh about it, but they're like, yeah, you got to get that changed. I'm like, it's not a big deal.
Who cares?
Most things like that don't bother. Yeah, I know, I get it. They don't bother me. Yeah. But I'm simply saying, like, I didn't know that, but it's something that kind of now you recognize and you see, and like, oh, okay. So, yeah, anyway.
So you're changing your name to the Pog is what you're saying?
He's the Pog.
Nah, the Pog. You guys can call me the Pog.
He's the Pog.
Hit me up, and when next time you guys see me, hey, can I get a picture with the Pog? The Pog. Hey, let's get into this fight card, though, okay?
You know what the Pog means, though, right?
No, I have no idea.
It means the punk is an OG.
Wow, that was pretty impressive.
Thank you very much.
That was pretty impressive. That was, you know what? I'm going to go with that.
Good going with Pog from now on.
Yeah.
Don't ever change that thing.
Yeah, the Punk OG. That's great, John. Look at that. See? Brilliant. Like the Guinness commercial. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, all right. Let's get into this fight card. You want to go with the main event first?
Yeah,
I think we'll go with the main event first. Let's go main event first.
Got to.
The animosity, I think, is a little, built up, and I'm sure there is some little bit of bad blood. So you're going to get a fight. But this is the concern that I've always had. I've always had this concern. I think ever since the John Jones and Rashad Evans fight, when people hate each other, they're so afraid of losing, or when they dislike each other, they're so afraid of losing, you end up with kind of one of those standoff fights.
You just took the words right out of my mouth.
And you also know that what that other person is good with, and that person knows what you're good with. And in this scenario, one's good with wrestling and one is good with kickboxing or boxing, whatever you want to call it. One's good in the stand-up, one's good in the wrestling department. You may end up seeing, like, not a lot of punches being thrown, not a lot of wrestling in there as well, just trying to press him to the fence and hold him there to make him tired, because Colby's come out and said that a bunch of times.
Well, he's got a second lung.
He'll just get tired.
Colby has the second lung.
Don't we all? What a dumbass.
I love that.
What? Right. I have a second lung. You mean a second pair of lungs? Yeah. I can get that part of it, but not a second lung.
Got a second lung.
Yeah.
Sometimes you speak too fast for your brain to catch up.
Yeah. I have that problem a lot. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. So I think he's going to end up pressing his way, trying to press Masvidal to the fence. He's going to try to hang on him like he did with T. Wood. He's going to do that kind of game plan is going to be like press him to the fence, keep him pressed there, shoot low, shoot high. He's going to keep mixing up body locks, ankles, knees. He's going to try to lift on the single leg. He's going to try to go back to the double. He's going to try to wrestle and grind him out that way. If he's not all the way in, you're going to see him on his bike on the outside, just sticking. I don't even know sticking and moving. He's going to be shooting probably kind of some raw dog shots. No setup, far away. He understands the power that Masvidal possesses. He understands the boxing and the ability that Masvidal has. I think Colby's got to be very cautious. He's got to be either all the way in or all the way out. If you see Colby, we're gonna get into these betting lines here in a second, in a while, but if you see Colby start getting takedown after takedown in round 1, which I don't think he's gonna.
Oh, we're gonna get into the takedown thing again.
I believe it. I really believe this. If he gets 2 takedowns in this first round, he's able to get on him, and he's able to get 1 in the second. I think after that, it just becomes a snowball effect.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I think you're absolutely right in the fact that I've looked at it and I go, man, this could actually be a really bad fight. It should be great. It should be. But in these scenarios, sometimes things end up where neither guy wants to make the mistake. And in that, they both wait. And we end up with just a snooze fest because no one's taking that initial jump. Everyone's trying to counter. I think Colby is definitely going to try to back Masvidal towards the cage and then come in for the takedown. Because once he gets into the clinch, look, this is his world compared to what Masvidal does. He takes away all of George's real tools. Now, it's not that he still cannot be hit. It's not that he still cannot be damaged in that clinch position, but Masvidal needs to be really smart about how he frames out, how he brings elbows across, and when he does that, if he's going to do it based upon Colby's good in the wrestling department. And there's no doubt in Masvidal's mind. Masvidal knows that Colby's the better wrestler, but it's not wrestling, Josh. And, when you're coming into a guy and you're trying to take him down and you are taking shots, when you see a guy dropping down to the legs and you see someone wrapping an elbow across, the side of their head, hey, that hurts. You've been there, I've been there in practice. It hurts. And someone's not really trying to hurt me there. And so it's like that gets your attention. It makes you stop. This is a question of, can Colby be the Colby that he's always been, in that his cardio does press Masvidal into a deficit based upon how much pressure he's able to push. But that pressure that he needs to push on, he needs to do it at a specific distance. He can't do it. If they're at distance in space, he could try to press Masvidal all he wants. He'll never tire him out in the stand-up, but he will tire him out into the clinch. So it's the real question on it. But I look at it and you go, yeah, it could be bad. I'm hoping and I'm looking and thinking, it could just be a barn burner. It could be that it doesn't last, all that long. It might only last into the second, third round based upon it being a barn burner. But if it is, that's okay. I can take that. I don't want to see the long, drawn-out, do-nothing 5-round affair. That's what I hope not.
Yeah, we've just seen it too many times where people, they've trained together, they know each other, and there's animosity between the split, and one person went somewhere and one person went the other place, and they didn't fight. They came out. They was sure the fight was presented like as if it was a fight, but it wasn't really a fight. It was touch butt in the park. It was. That's kind of where we were at on that. So I could see it going that way. Now, I'll be honest. Masvidal tends not to have those kind of fights. And Colby, with his cardio, he tends to have more of a push forward type thing. Yeah. So we could see these two guys clash in the center of the cage, which is what I hope.
That's what I'm hoping, yeah.
I guess the true question is, though, do we see George Masvidal run across the cage in the first second and throw a flying knee? That's what I want to fucking know. I want to know that. I want to know, because I think, honestly, things like that help kickstart how the fight's going to go.
Oh, it does.
If they come out and they don't touch gloves and they just circle, it's like, all right, what are we doing? It's that you're going to spend a minute and a half, 2 minutes, then the first one's going to try to in the last minute and a half, try and steal the round.
Yeah, I definitely believe that you're going to see George start to run across. Now, he might stop.
Yeah.
But he's going to make that move it's going to start right now. And he's going to come across. Is he going to throw it? I kind of doubt that, but he's going to definitely come towards him like, oh, it's on now, and you're going to get the full thing. So
he's a showman, though. I've learned that even though like Colby's the showman in terms of interviews and all that stuff, he still, when he gets out there, he takes his fighting very seriously. There's really no fucking around in there. But with George is a showman. Like when he's in the cage, he loves fighting. You can tell. I mean, I can go all the way back to his backyard fights, but he loves to fight.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you don't start off doing that
No.
if you don't love to fight.
That's right.
You understand? Like I mean, like my dumb ass would fight in the streets for free. His dumb ass took it to the backyard where he was getting paid. I mean,
a little bit better level. You got $500, man.
I'd fight in clubs. I'd fight in the streets. I didn't give a shit. I was just not very bright back then. So,
did you say back then?
Yeah, not much has changed. Not much has changed. So it just comes down to that Colby really, when he gets in that cage, he still looks at it as like, this is for real. This is business. I got to take it serious. George, he does the same thing, but he's out there relaxed. He's having fun. I think that's what helps with his conditioning, his cardio, the way he sets up his shots and he's able to pick people apart is by doing that. I look at him in terms of like, he's got the ability to foot sweep. He's got the ability to inside and calf kick. He's got all those things to slow Colby down. Will he be able to do it? And he's just all he has to do is just touch Colby. He doesn't need to load up. When he loads up, that's going to be an issue. If that hatred is for real and he starts loading up, that's going to make it easier for Colby to get in on the body locks and the takedowns and those type of things. George has got to be patient, but he's got to throw his shots like almost like a Nate Diaz style where he touch. When he hurts you, then he goes hard. And if he can do that, I think he's gonna have a good stance. Like that Nate Nick style is very key against someone against like Colby Covington. Just keep touching him, make him feel frustrated. And then when they do that, they go ahead and light up the big shot.
Oh, so you got sick from Ireland too. There you go. Yeah.
Just from talking to you.
All right. So let me ask you this: who's gonna win? I gotcha. Now he's everyone watch. He's taking a drink of water because he's starting to choke up.
I am. I have to go based off of like if he gets the takedowns in the first round, early in the second, I think I'm going to start leaning towards Colby, obviously. But if I'm going to say just raw dog, I have no idea. My heart says Masvidal because I think he's got the big brother over Colby. Like Masvidal cared for Colby, but he was always like the bigger brother.
Yeah.
And I just think that when it gets in there, there's something in Colby that really believes that this was like the guy that I looked up to. This is like the guy that
helped get him into the sport as far as helped him grow and become a guy that was fighting, at the top level. So, yeah.
And so I think that big brother stuff, it carries over a lot of the time.
Didn't Rashad and John Jones have a big brother kind of thing?
I don't know. Did they? That's the thing. I don't know. Like this is pretty widely documented. Like, Masvidal would corner him. Sure, he would help corner Masvidal, but it was like there was a big brother thing there though, where if you're living on my couch, you're doing this. With John and with Rashad, I don't know if they ever lived together. I don't know if there was like, hey, I'm I'm your big brother, come hang out. They were friends. They'd go to clubs together. They'd, whatever it was. I always look at that and I go, I've seen it too many times where the little brother just doesn't believe in themselves enough, especially when the going gets tough. Yeah. So I'm gonna lean towards George, but also my heart says George because I'm a George fan.
I know. That's
why
I was
long
asking.
Ways back. Yeah, you were trying to get me. My loyalty goes to a certain point. I like the guy, man. I like the guy a lot. He's a great guy. He's a great fighter.
He's a great
been
guy.
around
No
for a
doubt
long time.
He's an OG,
done a lot
man.
of good things in the sport. But Colby though. Colby's a stud. I mean, I can't take away from what he is, But I think if Colby starts getting takedown after takedown in the first round and a half, it's going to go into a 5-round takedown. He's going to start taking him down, start keeping him down, start able to hold him down, but that's going to be harder than I think. Colby's going to have a hard time getting him down, a real hard time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I look at it, and again, I love Masvidal. Been around him, watched his career from the beginning. He's a stud. Mm-hmm. So's Colby. Colby's a stud.
Yeah.
You can't take nothing away. You cannot like him. Okay? People can go, I don't like his personality. That's okay. You don't have to like his personality. But just as a fighter, dude, he's a fucking dog, man. He is in the fight.
Yeah.
You can take a look at his fights with Usman, especially that last fight, because he was getting lit up. It was the second round, I want to say. I mean, he got tore up and just kept coming, came back. That just proves exactly what's inside of him and stuff. And I just look at it, and there's not much difference in age. I mean, what, Masvidal's 37, almost 38. I think Colby's somewhere around 33, 34. So not a whole lot of difference, but there is a difference in wear and tear. And I just look at it, and I do think that, Colby's, that pressure, eventually he's going to get there, and it's going to start to wear on Masvidal. I don't think he's going to get rid of Masvidal. I think Masvidal will be there the whole way.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It's going to be tough for Masvidal once he gets tired to stop what Colby does, because Colby does start to get on a roll, and he just keeps on, hitting those takedowns and stuff. So I'm probably going to go with Colby. I think Colby's, at this point, he's just the better overall as far as, his game against Masvidal's. But it's a toss up, and you never know in these type of fights, but it's
styles make matchups.
It is. And you just don't know.
Whoever style starts to take over early in the fight will predominantly probably start taking over the rest of the fight.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. We've seen it change in a 5-round fight by round 3. I mean, you go back and you watch the Joanna and Weili Zhang fight. Joanna was just tearing her up in the first 2 rounds. And then all of a sudden, Weili Zhang just came out and started fucking putting it on her. Now, there was good exchanges in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
But Weili Zhang was losing that fight. And then she took over. So we've seen in times that fight happen, things like that happen. So, let's go to the next fight. So we all know who it is. So it's RDA versus Moicano. Moicano stepping in last minute notice. I want to just quickly say, Dana White, you fucked it up. Should have been Islam. Fucking guy, man. Come on. I think Islam's making probably a little bit more money than Moicano.
Yes.
This card's probably already taking quite a bit of taking a little bit of a hit already in terms of money. And I wish they would have done it, man. I wish they would have done it. But there might have been pay-per-view numbers involved. There might have been whatever it was with Islam that Moicano's not getting. So it doesn't.
I think it was based on pay, just like you're saying, and I don't blame. I can understand. Hey, it's a business. You got to run it as a business, and sometimes you look and you go, "Yeah, it's just not worth to put that fight on for me right now." But I thought
it for us.
Islam did a good job of trying to make it happen.
Yeah. I wonder with all the drama, like if let's say RDA goes out there and starts him in the first round. Not saying he's gonna, but if he does. Are we gonna see that RDA fight next then? I doubt it, because he's already guaranteed a title shot.
Yeah, that's the whole problem.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I want you guys to, and this is not because I'm an Islam fan or he's, my friend, but he beats RDA. So I think it'd be kind of a waste of time. I would have loved to have seen it as a last minute replacement, knowing that he just fought, he's in shape. The weight was gonna be 170. That would have changed it up a little bit. I would have loved to have seen Islam go to 65. I thought that was fair, but the ultimate, that would have been great, because you have a guy who just fought, he's in shape, ready to go, and you're inserting who's supposed to be next in line for a title, and for him to step in and fight someone who's ranked below him, and because it was supposed to happen before, it just made for a great storyline. They just had to pump this card up even more. If you're gonna buy this freaking this non-title pay-per-view, give me a little extra, buddy. Give me a little extra.
I want more. I don't know.
I have a quick.
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask a question, just about 2 things. So, do you think it's potential that they don't want Islam at catchweight again, like when he just fought at catchweight, because they're trying to keep him at 55 to build him for the title? And then the other thing was, do you think there's indicators that the pay-per-view is already selling well enough that they don't need the co-main to be strong?
Okay, so look here, and nothing against Moicano. I actually really love watching him fight. But you have Fiziev in there, who's a rising star, okay? And then you take him off and you put him with someone who is not as big of a star, not someone who is on the way, who was on the way up, like basically who has that same like star power right now to the fan. You got to put somebody in there that's equal or more. And Moicano's not he was on the rise a little bit a while back, but he's not anymore. Now, he had a good win, 2-3 weeks ago? He had a good win, but it still didn't bring the notoriety that he needed to bring. He beat Alexander, what's his name?
Hernandez.
Something Alexander.
Alexander the Great. Hernandez.
He beat him, but that's not RDA. And so when I'm talking about guys, like, see, at least Fiziev beat Bobby Green. He's had some good wins. He's got, he's a stand-up guy.
Hold it. Fiziev beat Moicano, you recall.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So now you're replacing him with somebody that, it just doesn't, to me, it's like we actually lost a good fight. And you replace it with not as good a fight. That doesn't seem...
Not a bad fight, but it doesn't fight. It doesn't have the shine that it once had.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. And then you're going to have
it would have kept that shine if Islam had been put in there.
Yeah, and now you're going to have him as a co-main event.
I agree.
It's just one of those frustrating. Yeah. But I still think it's going to be a good fight. It's just not going to be what, like you said, the shine. It's not going to have that aura about it when they walk out and be like, oh, okay. Now, if Islam and him walked out, and that has nothing to do with me being an Islam fan, it really is just you have the guy who's the number one contender for that title at 155, and you've got a guy where they were scheduled to fight, I think, already twice, and it didn't happen. There's a storyline there. It could be done, and so I was hoping for that fight.
In the end,
this
is what happens.
Yeah, in the end,
this is what happens. It's the fight game.
It's the fight game.
And unfortunately, Fiziev had to pull out. That's just what is going on today. Edson Barbosa taking on Bryce Mitchell. This you talk about a throwback type fight. Stand up, unbelievable skills in the stand up. All the spinning attacks against the guy. He's a stone grappler, and he's good, man. And he's just a tough, country boy from Arkansas, Bryce Mitchell. I really like this fight. I'm looking forward to it because this is going to end in one of two ways. Someone's getting knocked out or someone's getting submitted. So I think this is one of those ones. I'm looking forward to this. I think this is a fun matchup. It's a fun, contrast to styles. It's going to be Bryce. The big difference here is Bryce has not faced anywhere near the competition that Barbosa has. And Barbosa has been in there against good grapplers, and he's put up with good grapplers. So I think that the experience level here might be part of the outcome.
Does Bryce Mitchell have Khabib-style takedowns?
Excuse me. What's that?
Does Bryce Mitchell have Khabib-style takedowns?
No.
Is his takedowns that good?
They're okay.
Okay, but let's go back to the Khabib fight. Khabib, at times, struggled to get Barbosa down. Now, when he got him down, he laid the freaking leather down. There was moments where...
I was there, and I don't really recall a whole lot of problems.
No. There was a couple instances where he was able to fend off some takedowns. And the same thing with
he ran out
Khabib
of one.
Fought. Yeah, he was able to circle out. He was able to kind of turn the hip and get it, But that's the level of tenacity that Khabib brings when it comes to the wrestling aspect of it all. If Bryce Mitchell doesn't have that type of level of tenacity, like chasing the takedown like that, he's going to have a hard time. Because on the feet, Edson's going to get off quick and he's going to circle off. One thing he has learned to do is really try to basically defend the takedowns, but he's also learned how to hit his shots and get out of the way, circle off, turn the hip, sprawl and brawl, and back out. Make sure that he doesn't get pulled into the guard. He's learned over the years of how to do that because that's really the only way he's been able to beat these guys, when it comes to the wrestling aspect of it all. He's extremely talented. He's got fast hands, got heavy, quick kicks. They're not telegraphed or not very much telegraphed, but he is an animal. Bryce Mitchell's going to take a lot of shots. Can he deal with the adversity? What is Bryce? What is he, 14-0?
Yep. Undefeated at
14-0. Like you said, he's never fought someone like this. We're going to see if he's a real fighter in this fight. And I'm not saying that he's not. I'm simply saying that we're going to see, can he deal with the adversity of getting hit clean, hard shots, leg kick after leg kick, calf kick, inside, body, spinning back kicks, whatever it is. Is he going to be able to do it? Because you look at that fight, right? I look at this fight. Is he as good as Dariush was when he fought Barbosa?
No.
Like, Dariush was trying to get the takedown. Dariush was standing a lot, too, in that fight with Barbosa.
Yeah, he was, which was a mistake.
Dariush is wild and crazy. You know, he's got long limbs. He'll go for the takedowns. He'll stand. All of those things. Would you say that he's as good as Dariush was when Dariush fought Barbosa? If he's not, I mean, I know it's just it's a lot. This is a big time fight.
Dave, pull up the record of Thug Nasty there real quick.
Thug Nasty.
That's his nickname. I love that nickname.
I know.
That's great.
I know. Is he the one that did the video on the Camaro thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
God, it was great.
He's freaking phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. And this is my point right here, okay? And nothing against anybody here, but you can take a look and all these fights, you know, Andre Fili, good fighter, you know, out of alpha male, very, you know, well-rounded, good fighter. Charles Rosa, tough dude, Boston strong, but nobody here is even close to the level of what Edson is or the people that Edson has faced. And I think there comes that point where, you know, you end up facing the guys that, man, they're just that. We talk about levels all the time. There's that levels and the speed difference of the stand-up and the way that he does not telegraph things when he throws them. All those things, you know, I think we're going to see Mitchell, you know, as you would say, raw dogging, trying to get the takedowns, diving for him at a certain point. And when you see that happen, you know this is not good for him. So,
yeah.
You know, but we'll see. You know, he's pulled it out 14 times in a row. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, man. Look, if you're going, and nothing against Andre Fili, if you're going the distance with him, Barbosa's that next step up.
Yep.
You know, and I'm not saying that you should have finished Fili because Fili is a tough ass dog.
Tough dude.
But it's gonna be like with Barbosa, if you don't get him down, you don't control him, you're in for a fucking painful night. And can you dig deep and get through that painful night and still get the win?
You definitely have to get that fight down as fast as you can to take that boy's tools away. Yeah, his weapons are nasty. I think that the fight this is a good one. I'm looking
this is the fight I'm looking forward to the
both
most.
of them talk. Yeah, this is one of the ones on the card. I go, now that is a fun fight. That's one that I will look. The only thing that I want is I want Kevin to actually fight more than he talks at times. Okay, because you know Oliveira's going to be there. Oliveira, man, you can take nothing away from. I remember when Alex Oliveira came into the UFC, he was a last-minute replacement, got his shot in there. This guy has made a career out of being there, and he's fought. He just fights whenever they ask him. He's ready to go. He's tough as fucking hell, and this is a great matchup between these two. Stylistically, you know, both have their advantages in certain areas and stuff, but I look forward to this fight.
What is it with the nickname Cowboy? You automatically got to take every fight they give you.
That's true. That's true. Good
that
point.
Name, it's just,
good point. Yeah.
It's just you want me to fight? You want me to fight a heavyweight? Sure.
You want me to fight Ngannou? No problem. It's next week.
No
okay,
I'll take it. Okay. What? I got 7 hours to make weight. Okay. It's like it doesn't matter. The name Cowboy in this sport, man.
Good point.
These guys are dogs. Kevin Holland. I don't mind when he talks. I want him to maybe talk a little less when you're losing and start getting up, doing those things.
That's my point.
But in this fight, this stylistically is going to be an actual. I think they could have seen this being the co-main event only because the way they're going to fight. This is going to be a barn burner of a fight. Cowboy doesn't know how to fight at a slow pace. He fights aggressive and hard the whole time, you know. And then you got Kevin Holland, who is talented everywhere. He can win this fight on the ground. He can win this fight on the feet. He's tall, long, and lanky, as you guys always love to hear me say. This style of fight.
Do they really?
Oliveira, yeah, they love it. And then Alex Oliveira, Cowboy's the same way. He's tall, long, and lanky. I mean, he's not long, and lanky at 170 as he was at 155. But overall, this is going to be one of those fights. It's going to be a really damn good fight. My question is, though, John, how good will Holland be at 170? How much was the weight cut a factor? how much, like, those are the things in my mind. This is his first time making the weight.
Sure.
He said he's not a big guy. He said he doesn't cut a lot of weight anyways, to make 185. But 15 pounds is still 15 pounds.
15 pounds is quite
he's a Twiggy already. So he's...
Well, he definitely has no
not,
fat on him.
Yeah, he's not the most muscular guy at 185. And now I'm cutting 15 pounds. I mean, like, that's kind of like a limb, not a full limb, but maybe a half a limb for him because he's so tall.
I don't know.
It scares me a little bit. I want to know what his performance is going to be like.
I think that he's going to do very well at this. I think they both have their advantages in this fight. I think in the stand-up, you got to kind of go towards Cowboy and say he has an advantage in that. If it hits the ground, Cowboy's good on the ground, but he's not as good as Kevin Holland. And so they both have their advantages in this, but it's a good matchup. This is one of the ones you look and go, yeah, they did a good job putting that one together. I mean, way to go for the matchmakers and saying, we're going to put these two guys, see what happens. I kind of like it. And it being the first fight for Kevin at 170, tough fight, but a good stylistic matchup.
Yeah, look for the knees to come right up the middle from Kevin up to Cowboy. Cowboy, when he lunges in, sometimes puts his head down. He reaches a lot to grab the head. He reaches a lot to grab the clinch outside of his striking. So look for Kevin Holland to throw the knees up the middle. If they ever get into that clinch area, look for Cowboy to mix it up. A little bit of the wrestling, but a lot on the feet. He's going to throw big power, swarm him with big shots. So Kevin Holland's going to have to be on his bike and make him pay. I think the speed and the reach is going to be the problem. Cowboy's not as long as Holland, and he's not as fast as Holland. So if he can keep his back off the fence and keep his back off the canvas, I think Kevin Holland's got a good chance to win. Now, even on the ground, I think he's got a good chance to win as well.
Yeah.
But I just think the ground and pound and the super aggressiveness of Cowboy on the ground, it might maybe overwhelm him a little bit. Who knows? We'll see. Overall, I think it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be one of the best fights on the card.
All right, Spivak versus Greg Hardy. The experiment. It's still in doubt.
Experiment?
Is Greg Hardy? Well, I call Greg Hardy the experiment because coming from the NFL into MMA, it's not like they haven't handed him. I guess they did in the beginning, and then they kind of got, you're sink or swim now, with the guys that they put him against and everything. But he's had some guys that tough guys. He's fought guys like, I think Jorgen De Castro's heavy hitter, so you're going against someone with heavy hands. He fought Volkov. He just lost to he's got 2 losses in a row, I think, to Tybura and to Bam Bam. So that's where I say, well, they're not doing him any favors now. But Spivak is a guy that big, solid dude, likes to stand up. So is he kind of tailor made for Greg? But Greg tends to have, in my opinion, a little bit of cardio issues. He's got asthma and stuff, and when he starts to slow down, he really slows down. And so I look at this one.
Can Spivak get past the first 2.5, 3 minutes?
That's it. That's the way I look at it. 2 minutes, it's going to be Greg Hardy. 3 minutes, I still think right at Greg Hardy. Past 3 minutes, I'm starting to go towards Spivak.
Yeah. Spivak's just got to weather the storm. Maybe Greg Hardy's going to be able to, he's trained enough now to get himself through a full 5 minutes. But I don't look to see him do much more after that. He fights at a very slow pace after that, going in the second round. He might be good for the first 30 seconds, minute in each round after that, but then he just slows down too much. And if he gets taken down off of his back, he's got nothing. So if there is an opportunity for Spivak to get him to the ground, make him work himself back up, you just start to see his power level, like in a video game, just go down. Doop, 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 doop. It's just, oh man. I think it's gonna be a fun fight, and I love the fact that when you have someone like Greg Hardy, it's win or lose. There's not really like let's go the distance. That's not really in his MO. He doesn't want to go the distance. No matter how good a shape he's in. Heavyweights don't want to go the distance.
God, no.
The worst 15 minutes of their lives.
That's what he had against Volkov. You can see it, just dead. Don't blame him.
Volkov's a hard style to fight because of the reach.
Yeah. But, Hardy's cutting to make that weight.
Yeah.
He's cutting weight to get there. And so he's 280 pounds when he's in the cage and stuff. That's a lot of weight to carry for 15 minutes.
That's true. I would never know. I'm never going to be that big.
Just double you up, baby.
Oh, man. All right. Is there any other fights on this card that you're interested on when you go down to the prelims?
Oh, my God, yes. I like Marina Rodriguez against Jan. I think that's going to be I like Marina Rodriguez. She's mean. She's tough. She got great stand-up. No one seems to be able to really get her down much. She's the one, if you're looking to say, hey, who's the person that can, possibly give, Shevchenko a battle, I know they're not in the same weight class, but I mean, stand-up wise, I don't think she can be with her on the ground, but Rosa got to be looking over her shoulder at, hey, Marina Rodriguez is coming. And that's a great matchup if they make it. But
Rose ain't looking at shit. Rose looking at money signs in front of her. Rose is Thug Rose, man.
Thug Rose.
Thug. You want to come up here? You can. I'll test your chin. She's got big power. She's not scared of any of these girls. She can give it to them all.
I don't think
they can all get the smoke.
I don't think Marina is worried about anybody either. And she's mean.
Thug Rose is like, you guys can all get the smoke. Come get it. Come get it. Let's see here. What else? What other ones are on here? Obviously, I got to bring up my little brother Umar Nurmagomedov. He's fighting Brian Kelleher. Should be a good fight. Brian's tough. He's going to take a lot of shots. Umar, look, when you're talking with the last name, he has that with Khabib and Islam and those guys. He's not like them. Like he has a very Taekwondo style stand up. He uses that side kick a lot. He's
much more like
cardio.
Usman.
Yes, much more like Usman. He is somebody that he has a very good side kick. He keeps the range well. He puts the combinations behind his side kick and his boxing. So his boxing goes first, then he'll finish the side kick, or he'll throw the side kick to cover the distance and come in with his combinations. He can wrestle. He's got more of the foot sweeps, inside trips. He's very rarely do I see him drop down on double legs and those type of positions. He'll actually step back and throw some more striking when it comes to the feet.
Yeah.
You look like you're going to say something, or were you yawning?
No. There's you're absolutely right as far as there's a couple fights down here, and Umar, I think Umar gets it done pretty handily. I'm just being honest. I think as a matchup style wise, Brian's the guy that likes to throw his hands. I think Uman's just better everywhere. He's faster. It's going to be a tough fight for Brian. But there's a couple in here. Tim Elliott is the fight before that, and he's fighting a guy in Ulanbekov who is freaking good.
He's good. He trains with us too.
He's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, and, Tiger.
Yeah, and then the very first fight on the card is Dustin Jacoby against, and I screw up. It's Mikhail, and I can't Polish name. Whatever.
Yeah,
Juzuk. I'm just going with Juzuk. But he's good. This guy doesn't look like anything, man. He is tough. He throws good combinations. He stays in the pocket. He's fun to watch, man. And he's a tough son of a bitch. So he's got heavy hands. I think that fight, just to start it off, Dustin Jacoby against Mikhail, that's a great matchup. So overall, you take a look at the card, it's a good card.
Yeah.
It's a really good card.
John, you brought up the very first fight. Now I got to freaking watch the very first print.
Damn it. Sorry, dude.
Damn it.
It's a good one. It's a good fight. I'm surprised that it's the very first fight.
You got to start it off with a bang, man. We say it all the time. Sometimes in the Bellator shows, we're like, shit, how is this fight not further up on the thing? And they're like, sometimes it's the European deal that we have, the European TV deal that we have. And then sometimes it's just because they want to start off the prelims with a bang. And I get it. I understand. Good stuff. But good luck to my brothers, Umar and Tiger. Hopefully they both end up on top. It's tough when they're back-to-back and they're training partners and they end up having to fight back-to-back. So if your corners are out there cornering, you don't get the warm-up you probably should have got. But Brian Kelleher is tough. And Tim Elliott's got his hands full, man. That's going to be a good fight. It's going to be fun.
Yep.
Good, fun fight. All right, well, let's get into weighing in on the odds. I think that's where we're going next. Yep, look at that. Great guess by Josh Thompson. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to go weighing in on the odds. We're going to give you guys a little information here, but make sure when you guys listen to us, okay, you guys go to mybookie.ag. This whole segment is brought to you by mybookie.ag. Use that promo code Wayne, and there's also a little QR code right over there. Dave's going to put there for you guys. Okay, and you guys click that, and for your first initial deposit, they're going to give you guys a little extra spending cash. So we're going to do the best we can to break these fights down, tell you guys way to go. Now, look, this doesn't mean, when we say this doesn't mean that we're betting with our hearts. This means we're talking about what are probably the best odds to take. Yeah. We're not saying they're going to win. We're simply saying these are the best odds to take. If I was going to take this person, it's because these odds are too good to pass up. So don't get it confused with who we think is going to win. This is what we think is the best way to make money for you guys. That's the difference between betting and for what we normally do and tell you guys this is the guy that we think is going to win. So I want to make sure that's clear. Don't come to us that you mortgaged your house, okay, and lost everything. I don't want to hear that business, okay? I'm just telling you, put a little bit of money down, good opportunity for you guys to win. All right. Let's go.
Well, once again, like I said, I do believe Colby Covington is the guy that is going to end up winning this fight. He is the favorite, but Masvidal definitely could win it. And at plus 250 or at minus 310, I can't put $310 down on Colby to try to win 100. I would rather put less money down on Masvidal and to win the same amount if he can pull out the victory, because at plus 250, I'll put $50 down on him, man. I'll put $50 down on him to win $150. You know, it's basically it just makes sense. You know, I'm not, if I lose it, all right, I lost it, but it was the odds are there that yes, he can win this fight. You know, so it's a tough call, but I always look at that over. And you can see the over is at minus 130. What's that, 150?
Minus 150.
Minus 150. Going 4.5. I do think it's going to go the 4.5. I think it's going to hit the over.
Yeah. It's going to go the distance. I think the two of them know each other so well. I think the first couple rounds, there's going to be a filling out process or they're going to get after it right away. But if they get after it right away, it makes it easier for Colby to get the takedowns. Now, like, I want George to win because I'm using my emotions to do this because I like George. I like Colby too, but I like George more. Okay, that's just how that's how my brain works. But in the scheme of what John was saying, if I'm going to put money down, I'm not betting 310 to win $100. Okay, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go right to George Masvidal. I'm going to put the $50 or $100 down with the opportunity to win the 250. Okay, if I put the 100 down. The other thing is, well, the odds are showing that it's going to probably end up going the distance, which favors Colby in terms of winning, which is what John was just saying. So I'm definitely going to probably, like, I'm probably not going to take the over on that because it's minus 150. And it's like, why would I take that unless I was going to go the distance?
Yep. So
Colby's going to probably win. You're saying the odds are saying Colby's going to win this fight. Now, odds are normally laid out because they know what the hell they're talking about. You know, sure, you'll have some standards in there, you know, but I like I said, I like the odds because George knows him. So in those terms, George knows how to beat him too. Now, back when they trained together. Now, years have gone by. It's been over a year now or a year and a half they've probably trained together. They haven't liked each other for 2 years. So they probably stopped training together, and then he got booted out of ATT. But in the back of George's mind, he knows how to beat him. And he knows what he's got to do to probably get to him. So in that case, this is one of those bets that I would probably put $100 down on George.
Yeah, there you go.
Next one.
Excuse me.
You got Edson Barbosa, who is at plus 130, and you got Bryce Mitchell at minus 160. I am taking Barbosa,
Edson Barbosa all day
long.
Same here.
All day long. Bryce Mitchell, like John said when we were doing the preview, he hasn't fought anybody, not anywhere near the level that Edson Barbosa has. And if you're going to tell me that if his wrestling's as good as Khabib, okay, maybe I'll start putting some money down on Bryce Mitchell. If his money's as good, if his wrestling's as good as other guys that Edson's fought, then I would probably do it. I don't think so. And so I'm gonna take the experience of Edson Barbosa, the speed and the combinations, keeping it on the feet, and his ability he can take some damage. Now, I know he's coming off that loss to Giga, but Giga's a different level of striking than Bryce Mitchell. Let's be clear.
Come on.
So I'm gonna take Edson Barbosa. I may even put more than $100 down. I may even go 200, 250 somewhere in there, you know, to win some money.
I go back to a fight that Edson had recently. It's fairly recently. I don't know exactly, but goddamn Americani. And you talk about, like, Americani's got good takedowns. And Edson made him eat it all fight long. I think it went the distance for the win, but Americani really worked his ass off to get Edson down, wasn't able to really make it happen, and I think that's what's going to happen here against Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah.
I just look at it, and with odds like this, at plus 130, I'm going Edson Barbosa all day long.
Yeah, me too. Same. All right, then you've got Alex Rodriguez, Alex Oliveira, Cowboy. There you go. You got Alex Oliveira versus Kevin Holland. You've got Kevin Holland at minus 300, and you've got Cowboy at plus 240. In this situation, this is probably a bet I'm going to stay away from. Just my personal, like, I don't think that Alex has enough. Like, when I look back at the Masvidal fight, he's got opportunities because he knows Colby on how to beat him. He knows the insides and outs. I'm gonna go ahead and lay 50 or 100 on Masvidal to get that win. With Cowboy, he's one of those dirty, grimy fighters, loses his technique a lot. Kevin Holland can beat him on the ground. Kevin Holland's taller, longer, and lankier, can beat him on the feet. There's not as many ways for Cowboy to win this fight. He could clip him and knock him out, but that's going to be, I think, pretty tough. Yeah. Kevin Holland's also learned how to deal with heavier guys. I'm going to lean towards Kevin Holland so much that I'm not going to put 300 on him to win this fight. So I'm probably not going to bet on this fight, just my personal opinion.
No, I agree with you. It's one of those ones. It's up at that 300 range that I go, look at Oliveira could land a shot.
Yeah,
Oliveira could hurt him and put him away. It's a possibility. I'm just going to stay away. I do think that Kevin Holland's going to win the fight. Yeah, I really do. But I'm going to stay away from it because I'm not going to chance my $300 to win $100 on it. So they've got it played out pretty right. So I would stay away from it just like you.
And then look, if you guys are wondering, the odds were taken down obviously when RDA lost his fight, so there's no odds on him and Moicano. So sorry we couldn't give you guys those odds on those fights as well. But we're going to give you one extra bonus, though, here on the Greg Hardy and the Spivak fight. So Greg Hardy is plus 170. Spivak is minus 210, which is a fair assessment.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I kind of maybe would do the Greg Hardy, to be honest, because if it doesn't, you know, you're going to get, but I probably wouldn't put much, $25-$50 somewhere in there if I can win, you know, another, you know, $60-$70 or $75 off of it, whatever it is. So I would probably do that, maybe $25-$50 somewhere in there.
Well, I'm just gonna tell you, if you're gonna do the Greg Hardy in this fight, then you're gonna do Greg Hardy and you're gonna parlay it to the under, because that's the way he'll get it done, is before a round and a half. So that way you'll win a very nice chunk of money if you parlay it, if everything happens the way you're expecting it to happen, meaning Greg Hardy wins. He's going to win within that first, you know, round and a half, I would say. So that's one.
That's well played there, John. That's well played. Plus 115 on the under. Plus, if you're going to take Greg Hardy, because he definitely has a good chance of winning this fight with a knockout.
Yep.
You're absolutely right. I'd probably parlay it with that as well.
Yeah.
Brilliant. See, I knew I brought you around.
Brilliant.
For some reason. Brilliant. Let's scroll down one more time. Let's scroll down. Let's give him a little bonus one. We'll do that. You know, let's see. What else? Let's see. There was another fight that you were really into. Give me one.
Well, I like
the female fight. Where's the female?
Marina Rodriguez. Yeah. She's at minus 255.
Yeah. And you kind of know she's going to win. You're not going to bet that. So you have a pretty good idea that she's going to win this fight.
Yep.
Yeah, I would probably have to agree with you. Let's scroll down here to is Usman on
I
here?
will. There is another fight in there. There's the in fact you love this fighter, so isn't bring it back. Aparagova, isn't she in here?
Yes, I do love her.
Yes.
I do. Yep. So she is plus 160 versus Aparagova is minus 200. I like her a lot. I like
Agapova?
I like the other one too, Morena Moraz.
Moraz.
I like her as well. She's from ATT.
Yeah.
So both of them are really good. So, but I'm probably not putting the money down, man. Just to be honest, it's like minus 200 for Aparagova, and then you've got Moraz for a plus 160. No, I'm probably not putting the money down. I'm just gonna. It's one of those. If I was, I'd probably go with.
You're gonna go with Agapova.
Yeah,
Agapova.
I would probably no. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put the money down. $200 is too much. Like, see, I feel like things like that, when you start hitting $200 and up, it becomes too steep.
Yeah.
I like to put the 50 and the 100 down and, and turn around and win 200 and 250, like just for fun. What I do when I bet for these, when I bet on my bookie, right? What I do is I bet like say $25 to $75 somewhere in there. And I bet parlays, and I also bet just a bunch of different fights. And whatever I win is I just continue to just roll it over into the next fight. So it's just for fun that night. Sometimes I'll do $10, sometimes I'll do 25, depending on how confident I am in it. And I'll go all the way up to $100. I really don't try to go more than $100. It's just something
$500.
Yeah.
That's
You're not going to see this guy. You're not going to see this guy doing that. There's no way. $500.
I do sit on the edge of my seat when I do that, though. Like, oh.
I will say this though. There was one time that the very first Anderson Silva fight, I bet $1,000 against Chris Weidman, and that was a shocker.
Oh,
that paid
hurt.
for a lot of my trip that weekend.
Okay.
No. I bet on Chris.
You bet on
I bet
Chris.
$1,000 on Chris. Yeah, because the odds were just. I'm like, oh, the odds are. And I thought Chris would be able to take him down at will after watching Chael take him down at will. I was like, okay. I said, Chris can take him down. Chris has more of a submission threat than Chael Sonnen did. So that's why I went on with Chris Weidman. Yeah. Anyways, got lucky in that one. Hey, go to mybookie.ag. Use that promo code weighing in. We want to thank you guys for supporting MyBookie and supporting us for continuing to watch our show. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this breakdown. And when you guys come back, I want you guys to post in the comments that you guys won money. Tell us you guys won money. Let us know how much you won. Okay? And enjoy our content. I love it. Thanks, guys. Dave, I think it's time to move on to some news, right? Let's go.
News.
Yep, let's talk about some news in the world of MMA. So Valentina Shevchenko is set to defend the flyweight title at UFC 275 against Talia Santos.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Thoughts?
Look, this is my thoughts. Let me give you my thoughts real quick. She is the best female fighter in the world. That's it. I have no other thoughts. Santos has a chance, as in like a puncher's chance, maybe a grind you out type chance. I don't even see that happening. I don't see her getting a takedown against her. I don't see her controlling her on the bottom. I don't see her controlling her from the top. I don't see her controlling the feet. I don't see her doing any of that stuff. A motivated Valentina Shevchenko, I just don't think can be beat by anybody in that division. Nobody in the division.
Look, Santos is good. Santos is very physically strong. She's got power. She comes forward. She throws beautiful straight shots. And everything that I'm saying tells me she can't
When's
beat.
the butt?
Yeah, she can't beat Shevchenko. It's just the matchup style. Valentina does certain things so well, and her footwork is outstanding. Her ability to get in and out and deliver her shots. She's got her left high kick is outstanding. And then her grappling on top of it. Look, she can wrestle, and she's got a good ground game, and she is solid down there. Just you can see when she gets on top of someone, you can see the pressure and the base and their inability to get rid of her. I believe in Santos as a fighter. She's good. She just has not fought somebody like Valentina. And when all of a sudden you step into the cage and they close that gate and all of a sudden you're confronted by this person and everything that has worked for you in the past is now not doing anything to that person. Like we say, look, there's levels to this, and you need to face that person of that level to understand it sometimes and to say, holy shit, I didn't think that I was, someone was going to be able to do that to me. I wasn't able to touch the person in these situations that I normally am. And I just think that's what you have when you're facing against Valentina. Obviously, someone's going to give her problems. Could Santos be that person? Yeah, she's good. I just got to go with, I think Valentina is the best female fighter, pound for pound out there. She's freaking phenomenal. So
yeah, you've seen it throughout certain years in this sport, right? Frank Shamrock was one that kind of just got it. Everyone's like, oh, I didn't think he's going to be able to do that to me. Boom, armbar Kevin Jackson. Okay, like, oh, I didn't think he's going to be able to do that to me. Boom, he slams, not Igor Vachenshin, but who was the guy? Zinoviev, right on his head. Never
broke his collarbone, yep.
Yeah, never heard from him again. There was guys along the way. Anderson Silva came in, just started starching people. I thought the very first time Anderson came in, I was like, Lehman's going to just grind on him. He's going to push on him. It was embarrassing. And then And then on top of that, then you have other guys. You got John Jones who just splashed onto the scene and was just doing things that no one had ever seen. GSP, the control. Everyone like I had trained with guys that were like, he's not taking me down. He can't wrestle me. He can't teach a grown man how to wrestle. Just takedown after takedown after takedown. I mean, he's done things. Khabib. Everyone's like, oh, his wrestling. I've dealt with things like that. I've trained with Olympic wrestlers. Different style of wrestling. Everyone, there you go. It's been proven. There's, it's like there's certain people that just have it. Valentina Shevchenko has that thing. No one knows how good she is until they get in there. Like, I couldn't do shit. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't get to the legs. Couldn't stand with them. I'm like, it's a very dangerous and it's almost a very it's very uncomfortable feeling when you're in there going, damn, nothing's working.
Yeah.
Nothing's working. Like, you just realize that you're not at that level. And that's just disappointing, man. It's heartbreaking, I think, when you're in there. But it's also scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It is.
So,
disheartening.
next news.
All right, another fight announcement. Gilbert Burns versus Khamzat Chimaev is slated for UFC 273 in Jacksonville. So that's the next pay-per-view after George and Kobe.
They haven't
Early
signed
thoughts?
it yet. It's not 100%, but it's in the works. They're working on it from what I understand. As of yesterday when I saw it, didn't look like it was signed yet. Look, Chimaev stepping up in the big dogs. It's going to be a big-time fight. Look, this fight hits the ground, though. I don't care how good his wrestling is. I've seen Gilbert against guys way bigger than him and just dominate and just control and do things on the ground. But now keep this thing on the feet.
Yeah, there you go.
Gilbert's got speed on the hands. We saw that when he fought Usman. He rocked Usman. He's got some power. And he's got fast hands.
But he's not.
But
I'm telling you, I've watched. Again, Chimaev before he was ever in the UFC. Dude, the guy in the stand-up, he's got hands. This is where people are, they're like, oh, yeah, we haven't seen bullshit. Yeah. He's good in the stand-up. He is slick in the stand-up. He throws straight shots, and he's got power. So in the stand-up, I will agree with you. If it hits the ground and Gilbert's in the top position, Chimaev's got problems. If Chimaev is in the top position, he's got to be careful, but he's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On the feet, I'm telling you, Chimaev is a freaking monster. The dude is good.
Yeah, I just don't. My concern is I don't know if Gilbert has the wrestling to get him down.
I don't know.
That's one thing. Now, how would he get him down then? He'll push him to the fence, try to get him to a single leg, maybe drop down on an ankle, but then you got to deal with the reach, like the length of him, because in that position, right, we've seen in the past, when you go for ankle locks, you go for any of those type of positions, the person on top is free reign just to unload shots.
Oh, yeah.
A la, Frank Mir, Ian Freeman. I mean, let's just, you know what I mean? Like those type of scenarios can put you in a lot of trouble.
You're going way back.
Just huge. I am going way back. If you guys haven't seen that fight, go look it up. The story
UFC
behind
38.
that fight, just so you guys understand, Ian Freeman had just lost his dad, I believe, the day before.
Yeah.
Right? It was that during that last couple, while he was already in Vegas, ready for the
No, it was in England.
in England.
It was in England.
It was a great, it was one of those scenarios where just a great story.
Big heart.
Yeah, big heart. Anyways, but Gilbert Burns, we saw he's got fast hands. We saw he got power against Usman. He can rock you, get you in trouble. He's got to be on top. I agree, but I think he's not in a lot of damage. He's not in a lot of trouble on bottom unless he's like fishing for legs or he puts himself in a position to be, hit from that position. So he also can't hang out on the single leg or the double leg against the fence down low because of the elbows to the head. The size of Chimaev, the height of him and all of those things are going to play a factor in raining down those elbows to the side of his head and getting him out of there. Yep. And Gilbert Burns hasn't fought since the title fight, right? Am I correct?
No, he fought Stephen Thompson.
That's right. Okay. So he's fought Stephen off that, totally different style totally different contrast style though in this scenario. Yeah. You're leaning towards Chimaev?
Yeah. I am.
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, you're feeding into the hype, John.
I'm not feeding into it. Hold on. I've watched this guy since he's had about 3 fights.
Hype monster.
I'm not a hype monster.
One of those guys.
There's certain guys.
You're falling into the UFC propaganda.
No,
hype
I'm
monster.
not.
I gotta give you a hard time. I think he's good. I just want to see more of him though. Before I'm on the Chimaev bandwagon, you guys, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on this bandwagon.
There you go.
Okay, but I gotta believe in it. I gotta see a little bit more against.
Give me your hand, Josh. I'll pull you up. Give me your hand.
Here we go. Okay, I'm up. I'm only about halfway though. My feet are still dangling, like when I'm on the toilet.
That's because I'm holding on to you.
All right, next one.
Ariel Helwani announced that.
Don't say that name on this show. Don't ever do that.
Ariel. What's wrong with Ariel? Come on.
Oh, nothing. I like to give him a hard time. He takes it so personal. I don't understand why. I just love it though.
Because you can push buttons. It's you. It's you,
I'm very
Josh.
good at that.
You push buttons.
You want to know what? We talked about this earlier on the show. When you give this many fucks,
That's it.
okay, it's just like it doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter.
You got to understand. It's
Calm down,
fun.
everybody.
It's all
Calm down,
fun.
everybody. Before I give you guys all the rub. Calm down.
Look at you. You just had to do it.
All right, go. I had to do it. Go ahead, Dave.
So Ariel from The Little Mermaid reports that PFL has matched Kayla Harrison's offer from Bellator, and basically she's going to be re-signing with the promotion.
Yeah, I mean they paid a shitload of money, so she's getting paid.
Good for her.
It just makes for interesting conversation, man. You've got 3 of the best girls in that weight class, which Kayla's not really in that weight class, but she can make 145. And she's gonna just keep winning money, man. She likes money like the rest of us do. I don't blame her. Like Bellator put out a great offer because they wanted that Cyborg fight to happen.
Yep.
But the promotion has matching rights, and it is what it is.
And they did it. Which actually,
did it.
if you think about it, I think you and I both, sat there talking, and you told me, "Go, John, they don't want to re-sign her."
Yeah.
You remember that? And I was like,
Yeah.
You might be right. You might be right.
Yeah.
It might be that they're actually in that, hey, we pay a lot of money. Are we getting the most out of that? Well, they answered the question. They answered the call, and they said, oh, yes, we do want to push her. We do want to have her on our roster. And so, they had the right to match. They did it. Good for PFL. They're keeping someone. It's actually, she's their star. Who else?
She is.
Let's just be honest. Who else? And there's a lot of good fighters in the PFL. I'm not.
Well, I think Ray Cooper is probably their next biggest star.
Okay, he is, but most people don't know who Ray Cooper is. Lance Palmer was one of their stars.
Should.
Yeah, I know.
Lance
I'm not
Palmer,
saying that, but people, they don't. And so you look and you go, she's the one name that they can bring up that, people kind of will recognize based upon, just the hype behind her, the Olympic competition, all that stuff. I understand why they're keeping her. She's a stud.
If you guys haven't watched the finals of Ray Cooper's last fight in the finals of the last PFL, who's that guy? What's his last name?
Magomed Karamov,
right? Paramount. Okay.
Magomed.
Absolute. I was thinking Ankalaev for some reason. I don't know why.
No, Ankalaev is a little bit heavier and bigger.
Yeah. But that fight, it had everything. It was a great fight.
And Karamov was starting to put it on it, man.
And he was. I mean, Cooper was in a lot of trouble in that fight. And it was just a dog of a fight. That was like for me, action-packed fights in terms of, what was going on. And when I tell you in between round bettings, like that threw a wrench in all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
It was like if you bet one guy in between round, the next guy in the next round was the difference. It was a back and forth. Anyways, look, I like to toot the horns of the fighters that fight or dogs out there. Now, to go back to Kayla Harrison, Ray Brother Cooper. First, not back to Kayla Harrison. Ray Brother Cooper. Congratulations. Okay, and I'm a big fan. Okay, I'm a little giddy right now because I'm a big fan. I love guys that fight like that. He's an absolute stud.
He is a stud.
So next thing with Kayla Harrison. Now I'm understanding though, John, that this contract isn't for 55 anymore. Though it's 45. Now I may be wrong. Now, don't quote me on that, you guys, because I had heard through some rumblings through the back that the deal was because she was going to come to Bellator, but she would have to fight Chris at 45. Now, I think they were going to say that they were going to give him like, hey, we don't care what weight you guys fight at. But if it was going to be for the title, it had to be obviously at 45.
Yeah.
And we weren't going to start, Bellator was not going to start a 55-pound weight class for one fight like the UFC did. That's kind of like so what they did was like what they're doing is I believe this is at 45. We're going to pay you this amount of money. You need to fight at 45. It's from what I understand. I'd like to probably reach out to Kayla and be like, hey, is this thing at for 45? So maybe follow up on that.
Okay,
but
then
regardless,
I would then wonder, are they saying they're not going to put her in a tournament then? Because she can't make that tournament schedule at 145. That's
interesting.
The weight cut would be a real problem for her based upon, the PFL. They're kind of doing back to backs. So they have to fight pretty fast, about a month apart at times. So that weight cut at 145 is going to be very tough for her if she's in that tournament format.
She's going to have to get the weight. I don't know. She's going to have to get the weight down then. Keep it down. I don't know what else to tell you, buddy. Like, look, if you're paying me that amount of money, you'd be surprised what I could do with a new in-house nutritionist. Like, you'd be surprised. I'm going to suffer through this for that $1 million, plus they're paying that amount of money on top of each fight. You're out of your mind, John. Come on.
Yeah.
Lance Palmer won at what? Two times? Three times? Something like that?
2 times.
That guy's got a Lambo, a Camaro. He's got all these things in his house.
Yeah, the Lambo and Camaro are not that smart.
Whatever. I never said they were. Okay, I'm just simply saying that they're in his. I think he's got a Bronco too and a Jeep and all. Man, he's got so much shit.
Look at the envy off of you, dude.
I am super, super envious because you know what? No matter how much money I had, I would never own those cars.
Yeah.
I would never own that Lambo. Maybe the Bronco and
I would do the Bronco.
Yeah, I'd probably do the Bronco just to be honest. Although the new body style only looks good when it's super fixed up. It doesn't look good otherwise. You've got to put all the other.
It's okay. Who
stuff
cares?
on it.
No one wants to be average. It's all about fixing it up. It's like a Jeep. A Jeep doesn't look that good. Base stock. Fix it
I've
up.
been average my whole life.
Boom.
It's just fine. It's just fine. Being average is just fine. All right. Next.
All right, this story I want to talk about is a quote from Dana White, where he's basically saying Conor could be next for the title shot. So let me read you this quote.
You don't say.
Dun, 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 dun.
You don't say.
Let me set this up now.
On last week's weighing interjection, actually, John did set up a very good scenario where Conor could step in and potentially line himself up. But Dana's gone one above you, John, and said,
he always beats me.
It's going to depend on who the champion is. The champion has some say in that too. Who's going to be the champ when Conor comes back, and what do they want to do? If you look at Charles Oliveira, right, if it's still Oliveira by the time he comes back, maybe Oliveira wants Conor. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I don't know. I have a guy sitting here at over a 10-fight win streak, the same as I had with a Tony Ferguson. But it's not about the wins. It's about the money.
It's about the champion, what the champion wants now all of a sudden, right? This stuff is crazy.
Come on. You got to love that stuff.
He's got to get one.
We're going to go to the champion, and we're going to ask him what he really wants, because that's where our concerns are.
Because that's what they always do, right?
Oh,
John?
yes. There you go. I love it.
Look, I get it. He's the draw. He's only the draw when he's fighting for the title.
That's
realistically, now that he's lost so many times, he hasn't got a win in 5 years. I think is what someone said.
Ooh, I don't know if it's that. He has the win against Cerrone.
Cowboy. But then was that during COVID?
Yeah, it was right there. So trust me. He's had a win within 5 years.
It was right before COVID.
Because it was January.
3 years.
And remember, and he
2019, right?
Yeah, 2019.
2020.
2020.
Because it was January 2020.
January of 2020.
Okay.
He had this plan to do like 4 fights that year, and then, of course, COVID hit and ruined it.
Yeah, it had to have been January because I did Rogan like that the week that fight happened. Because we talked about Stephen A. and his ridiculous comments.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Stephen A. All right. Look, they're going to insert him wherever they can, wherever they want to make money.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
I don't blame him. I'm not going to sit here and whine about it. It's been done in the past. It's going to be done in the future. It's about making money. And you can sit there and say, oh, look at the rankings. The rankings are for the,
for the casuals.
Exactly. Let's just be honest, because they don't give a shit what their rankings are. They give a shit about which fight is going to make money.
Yeah.
And Conor makes money.
Next.
All right, we're going to wrap up on this story. I really just want to get you guys' thoughts on this. Sam Alvey announced that UFC is giving him one more fight before they cut him, and he is 0-7 in his last 8 fights.
Yeah, I don't. It's not cutting him. I thought they were just letting him fight out his contract. He's only got one more fight left, I think.
Yeah.
So they're just letting him fight out his contract. He can still have a conversation. He can still talk. I mean, we might as well just let him keep doing that until he can't do that stuff anymore. I mean, 0-7. I mean, I don't know. I've had other fighters that I know. The UFC has kept them. They were 0-5.
Yeah.
0-6.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean,
Well,
you've had other fighters, and these are top level guys. So,
but there's a lot of elements to this. First off, Sam is not someone that costs them a ton of money. Okay.
Yeah.
He has stepped in at times for them when they needed something. He's always been there, always been available, never given them any kind of trouble in any fashion. Yeah, he's got the 7 losses. It does mean something. In his last fight against Brendan Allen, look, he got freaking starched. You know, and that's where my real concern is. Take a look at he had the Wellington Turman fight. There was a lot of eye pokes in that thing and stuff, but he's taken some big shots in some of these fights.
Yeah.
The Jimmy Crute fight, he got hurt bad. I know he complained about the stoppage and stuff, but he shouldn't have. But yeah, that's a big string right there. And I like Sam. He's a great guy, super nice. His whole family. And if they're gonna let him fight it out, let him fight it out. Just don't give him a killer.
yeah, I agree. No, I agree. Dave, I sent you a text on the news, and I really want to make sure that we pull that up. It's a tweet from Ricardo B. And
Let's
it's
see.
on our news thing.
All right, let me. I'll shoot this up to the screen right now.
Yeah, see if you can pull that up.
Ricardo.
How are we gonna do this? Share to Mac. Here we go. All right, it's on its way. You guys will see this any second. And here we go.
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're
I
putting up.
love this.
This is great. I laughed
fucking
my ass
great.
off, man.
I don't know what
Is this
role he's playing.
No, the best part is the last part, per no sources at all. I love that.
I love it, though. I love it. NSYNC's Joey Fatone has been cast to play Big John McCarthy in an
Damn
upcoming
straight,
project.
baby.
That's
Looking
so
good.
Great, man.
Not only can he move smoothly in the cage, he can actually belt out a song while doing it.
Oh, this is great. I looked, I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, and then at the end when I read the no sources at all,
That's
I was
the
like,
best.
oh, okay.
That's right.
I was like, is he really playing Big John in something? This
Shit,
is
come
great.
on,
And
man.
then I read the bottom. Oh, but I wanted to get you guys all out of here with a laugh. So that was great. I always got to be at John's expense.
Dude, I thought that one was funny. I like that one. I thought that's fucking
That was
hysterical.
great. All right, guys. Hey, I want to thank you guys so much. Dave, is there any more news or was that it?
That's us. Let's wrap this.
That was it. All right, guys. Go to weightinpodcast.com. Go check out our new merch. Our new merch website. Merch. We've got hoodies. We've got crew neck sweaters, long sleeves, coffee mugs, hats, everything, all different colors. We got maroon, black, white, gray, heather gray, all different types. So check it out. We've got our new Beast Mode shirt that's out there as well, designed. That one's pretty dope. I'm going to start working on something for our tall, long, and lanky and, and dogs in the hands. So those type of things. So we're going to start doing something like that, try to get those designs made up. So if we can get those done, those will be up. Because we're getting tequila and shot games going on when I'm working now at Bellator, saying every time Josh does it, we're taking a shot. So this is great. I love it. Hopefully you guys pick up some new merch for us and post a picture, and we'd love to retweet it. I think that's just about it, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy this show, and good luck and have fun and watch the fights.
Enjoy the fights to everyone out there. Sorry about the coughs. I can't help it. Damn it. My Irish fans, they got me sick. I love them, man. For everyone out there, thanks for watching us. We will see you